And we are on. Welcome to the Compound Films podcast. Let me fix my hat and make sure we're all good out here with the lighting. We got a
Hell
special
yeah.
guest in the building today.
Yo, what up, what
I
up?
want to make sure that the light is hitting right, as you can see.
The light is hitting right, the angles is good, you know what I'm saying?
Perfect, man. And so, welcome to the Compound Films podcast. I want to introduce you to a very special guest. Let the people know who we got in the studio today.
Man, they call me Hitman 448G, representing the east side of Montebello,
Yeah.
Los Angeles, California in the building, man. What up, Houston?
Yes, sir. Shout out to Los Angeles. Shout out to everybody out there for showing Compound Films a lot of love.
Always, man.
And tell them, so you know, 448G. I mean, so tell us a little bit about your brand, man.
So 448, it was my favorite math problem as a child.
Oh.
4 plus 4 equals 8, you know what I'm
your
saying?
favorite problem? I see.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. 448 is basically like the weight of a street pound of weed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
448 grams and shit like that. So,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, me and a couple homies started that shit, branded ourselves, and we've been running with it ever since. You know what I'm saying? Trying to go global with this. And
Oh yeah. And
take it
at
to
what
the
level
top.
are you at now before you blow and take?
I mean, right
worldwide?
now, I don't even feel like we barely scratching the surface. You know what I'm saying? We barely like getting. We barely got the website up and running after like so many years.
Well, congrats.
You know what I'm
There it
saying?
is. We gotta give it up.
We was just doing it on the street. So right now we got the website. We about to drop a gang of shit. So
Let me ask
yeah, I
you
don't really
something,
want to
man.
say too much, but
Not too long ago,
Yeah.
did you hear about this King of Chicano rap thing going on?
I heard about that, and you know it's crazy. It is a controversial subject.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you want my take.
Yeah.
on it.
So, I mean, what'd you think about it when you saw it?
The king of Chicano rap. First of all, who do you think it was?
Man,
In your opinion.
to be honest with you, man, in Texas, we always thought Chicano rap was like California rappers.
Right, yeah,
So I wasn't
100%.
sure. And in terms
I never
of,
considered Texas Chicano rap. Either.
and
'Cause y'all
so
got your own style. You know?
yeah. So when Conejo said Lil Rob, I said, you know what, I don't really, I don't know,
Right,
I don't,
right.
I don't really jam him like that. I don't know.
Right.
But do I remember him as a kid? Yeah. Does that make you the king if you're one of the OGs? I don't know.
Right.
But in my opinion, who has stood out? Uh, that's a tough one. I don't really have an opinion because I feel like in Texas, as you know, I don't know if you
Right.
knew, but
Who do y'all fuck with down here, like from our side and shit?
well, we know everybody. We
Like,
know
who's like the biggest artist from like California? What'd you think on this side?
Man, that's a tough question. That's a real tough
Right.
question because I can't measure it. But I will say that we're real cool with Conejo.
Okay, that's
We're
homie
real
right
cool
there.
with King Lil G.
Shout out Conejo.
We're cool with Mr. Capone,
Right, right.
Mr. Criminal. We're cool with Lady Pinks. And it's a long story because
Yeah.
I used to be on tour and sometimes I would run into other artists on tour.
right.
So we all kind of came up together because they were already
Yeah.
legends, but I got to be around them on my way up.
Right.
And so, I mean, I know those guys. I'm sure there's, I like Burner. Burner's
I don't
cool.
think Burner. I don't think he's Chicano rap.
Now, what is Chicano
I wouldn't
rap
consider
to you? How
him.
about that?
To me, in my opinion, Chicano rap is somebody of the Mexican descent, Mexican culture, and I feel like they have their own style. It's like unique to the Chicanos. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you something. You ever heard of the Zoot Suits?
Yeah, of course.
I guess, do you know what a Zoot Suit represents?
I don't off top. I don't.
So I guess what was happening was, I guess
Okay.
in a nutshell,
I do recall like the story of the Zoot Suit riots, and if
Yeah,
I were
Zoot
to
Suit
guess, I
riots.
think it was to separate how they look.
yeah, I don't know
Right.
how it happened, but I think it
Right.
was because we were against the war.
Yeah,
or
it was
something.
against the
then
army and shit
and
like
so
that,
they
right?
looked at us like we were a gang,
Right.
and they're like, oh, "Okay, y'all dressing like
Right,
that?
right.
Like we're gonna get all of y'all." And so I guess that represented like Mexican American culture, and I guess if that represented that, what rapper do you think represents like that? The
It's hard to say because like Chicano, because a lot of people were saying Lil G was the king of Chicano rap, and I know him personally.
Yeah.
Like we have a really good relationship.
Lil G?
Yeah, that's the homie right there. Shout out Lil G. I don't think he's the king of Chicano rap only because I think he elevated himself to a higher level.
yeah.
And he never really rapped like that either. Like he had bars. He kind of came different ever since the beginning.
Yeah.
So I never really even labeled him Chicano rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? And to be fair, I feel like social media ignited that a little bit because if you
Oh, yeah,
ask
for
him,
sure.
if
For
you
sure.
ask
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
if you ask King Lil G, hey man, do you consider yourself
Yeah,
a
no,
rapper?
I seen the interview too. He was like, "Nah, I don't even consider myself Chicano rapper."
He don't. I don't even think he considers himself a rapper.
Right, right.
He
right.
considers himself a
Lyricist, hip-hop.
businessman. If you ask him,
Right, right,
right? Because I asked him that, and I said, "Do you even consider yourself even a rapper?" And he's like, "Nah, to be honest with you, no, I consider myself a businessman." I said, "Man, so you're like, then why are we fighting for this title, right? I
Right,
mean,
right.
I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think anybody alive can have the title. You agree with that?
I mean,
I don't think it
in
works
my,
like
in my
that.
opinion, the king. If I were to say the king of Chicano rap,
You almost
in
got to
my
die first to
opinion-
get it.
In my opinion, it'll probably be like Kid Frost or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I would think it would be.
And who in California feels like what artist y'all think is the king of Texas rap?
Damn, that's tough. Is
It's
that
the
like
other way around.
It's crazy because like y'all don't separate yourselves like in LA.
Yeah.
The Mexican rappers like Chicano rap is kind of different from the other actual rappers. Like we're never in the same category. Out here, y'all more united and solidified. So it's hard to say that. But I think out there in Texas, right now, shit,
Yeah, yeah.
or of all time.
Oh man, that's a tricky question. Who are you a fan of? Do you listen to Texas rap?
Right now, I think the hottest artist from Texas, and this is just like based off buzz and what I see on
Yeah.
on social media, I'll say like Sauce Walker or something.
Oh, okay, you like Sauce Walker?
I fuck with Sauce.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I don't listen to him on a daily, but I think he's dope. You know
That's
what I mean?
cool. Do you think like more people in California like listen to Sauce Walker?
I mean, I can't say that I've been around anybody that was bumping him like that, but I know there's a lot of people that fuck with him and his music. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. You don't have to answer it.
No, it's all good.
I'm cool with both.
Right.
But if Conejo and King Lil G had a freestyle battle like the old school
Right.
days, remember it was
Yeah.
all right, no riddance, just freestyle. Who do you think would get
I
it?
think G will win. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
my
tough to say because
Yeah.
you know Conejo's dropped like 100,000 albums.
Right.
So I'm sure he's got some lyrics he ain't dropped
Yeah,
yet.
for sure.
I mean he's got the skill to be able to. I think he keeps raps in his clip.
But I mean, Conejo is definitely up there. You know what I mean? He's great at what he does. He's one of the legends in the game. So, props
Yeah,
to Conejo.
it's definitely interesting, right? It's not supposed to go more than it being entertainment.
Right,
That's
right,
what
right,
it is. Entertainment. It's supposed to be entertaining.
Right.
And that's what it is. The good thing is that people are talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun conversation to have because nobody is right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on personal opinion. So,
Do you think if the weed business came to Texas, do you think it would fuck Texas up?
shit, it already is. We were, where were we at? Fucking Bobby? We were, I don't know. We were in some, I don't know. We were where all the restaurants and bars were at, and I seen a whole dispensary, lounge, and
Damn.
Yeah, bro, it's like 3-in-1. We don't even have that shit in Cali.
Do you
It was a
think
dispensary, lounge, and a restaurant.
do you
That's what it
think
was.
Texas would be better with them or what do you think? You think people are going to know how to act? I mean, or
I
what
mean,
is something we don't
Really,
that-
when it comes to being legal, it's just based off of how much the state can make off the consumer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for the culture too. Like people want to be walking around without being hassled and smoke their weed. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
And do you
I thought it was already. Didn't y'all pass like some type of bill or something out here?
man, they do a lot of things.
I think it was like medical, and I think recreational might be next.
Let me
Last
ask you
time I read.
something. Oh yeah, you said you wanted to do music. Is that
No,
right?
I said I used to do music.
Okay, check this
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
if you could go back,
Right.
and let's just say it was.
Okay.
Let's just come to a dream world with me, right?
Okay.
If you could go back to like maybe your 15-year-old self, and you could tell yourself, and you could tell yourself two things. Be like, hey man, go be a music artist, or hey man, save your money, be a businessman, and because one day you're gonna get into the weed business. What would you tell yourself to do?
Wear a condom.
What are those two?
I would say definitely save my money because I made a lot of money in my life and I lost a lot of money in my life. And the more money I make, I realize that the fast money don't last. You know what I'm saying? Like there comes a point of time where it ends, and you gotta have a backup plan, and you gotta have investments. You gotta have all that shit. So when the well does go dry, you're gonna have something to fall back on. So there's a lot of times when I was young, I was blowing money like 20, 30, 40,000.
Give me
a
some
night.
examples. To give me
You know
some
what I'm saying? We're in the
examples.
strip club. We blowing like 40,000 each a night.
On what? On what?
I'm just throwing it in
Oh,
there. You know what I'm saying?
geez.
Popping bottles. Each bottle in LA is like 1,500 with tax.
Holy
You know what I'm
moly.
saying? You going crazy. You probably blow like 10,000 just on bottles. Then you hit the strip club, that's another 10,000.
Then
So
you
I mean, there's been a lot of times where I blew a lot of money, and I look back on that shit now, and I'm like, damn, I could have done this. I
by
coulda
10
done that.
Maybachs.
But I feel like you got to go through that to appreciate the money. You know what I'm saying? Now, would I do that shit again? Maybe like on some birthday shit or like some really, really like celebrating shit, maybe. But like, I wouldn't do that shit again. You know what I mean?
But if you could go back to that time and be like, hey, don't do that shit, you would tell yourself.
I would
"Don't
tell
do that."
myself, have fun, have your fun, but watch how you spend your money. You know, because it's a big thing. It's a big thing.
Can you give us a lesson in money from one of your biggest losses, and then talk to us about one of your biggest wins?
A lesson
As
in
an
money was one of
entrepreneur.
my biggest losses.
Yeah,
I would
man,
say
a
like,
lesson.
don't be so quick to partner up with people just based off the words you hear come out of their mouth. Because I done had a gang of fucked up partnerships that I still regret to this day.
Oh, man.
And sometimes you're not fortunate enough to get out of the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So if you know what
Holy
I'm talking
moly.
about with the paperwork,
That sounds scary.
sometimes you're stuck in that shit for life, or all, you know what I mean? It's just fucked up. So I would say
Holy moly.
watch who you go into business with. You know what I'm saying? Do some research on them. Make sure you guys are compatible and you guys share the same or similar values and morals, because that shit could go left real quick. And maybe your brand blows the fuck up, and guess what? You got $1 million brand and you don't see eye to eye with your partner. It could get tricky. So
Is that what happened with you?
Not yet. Not yet. I have some other investments with some other partners, but definitely that's one of the things that I would recommend people do. Just watch out who you do business with, and really like do your research on the people you think are your people, you know, because sometimes they don't have your best interests. You know what I'm saying?
And what would an ideal partner be for you now? Now that you've learned all this, what is that? What does that?
I mean,
look
it
like?
it depends on the business, but I would say an ideal partner is somebody you don't always gotta see eye to eye, but you definitely gotta share the same values, you gotta share the same morals, and you gotta have the same long-term vision, because a lot of people want the quick money. But if you're starting something from scratch, you gotta realize that it's gonna be a 5, 10, 15-year process. So if you're just looking for the 1, 2, 3 years, it's gonna be hard. And when you're not making money the first 3 years, a lot of people start to break. You know what I'm saying? And if a lot of people don't have the long-term vision, it's not gonna work out.
Kevin O'Leary says after 3 years, if it's not profitable, take it behind the barn and shoot it.
100%. It gotta be a little profitable. It gotta be at least a little profitable.
Is being in the legal world as stressful as the illegal world?
Hell no.
No.
The illegal world, man, there ain't no words for that shit. There ain't no fucking words for that.
Tell me about
I can't say too much, man, but you know, it's
It's not as easy as people
it's
think, right?
not as easy, bro. And
What kind of stomach do you have to have for some shit like that?
I mean, look, I looked thinner on camera, but
I put the smoothing
man,
effect on it.
this
for
shit
you.
right here, you gotta have a big stomach for this shit, bro.
Is it like that? Is it gonna make
you
you?
lose your best friends,
Holy moly!
your family turns on you, your close people you thought was down since day one will rob you, turn their back on you over some money. People die. It gets crazy, bro. Like when people think this shit is easy, it's not easy.
I have a
It's not
question.
fucking easy.
Someone very successful told me, they said, "Hey man, watch who you surround yourself with." He's like, you want to know how to weed them out? I said, how? He said, look, anybody you meet that makes 100,000 or less is gonna have money problems.
Right. Is
So-
that a year or a year, right?
A year.
Okay, gotcha.
And so that they say anybody that makes 100,000 in Texas, so you could figure that out in
Right.
Cali.
Right.
They say anybody that makes 100,000 or less, they're gonna have some kind of financial problem. So you might want to surround yourself by someone that makes more than that.
Oh yeah.
Because they're not even thinking about money. Because
For sure.
successful. There's two types of people, right?
Right.
There's a person that is trying to save money, and then the successful people are there to save time.
Right. Yeah.
You want to add on to that?
I would.
Oh,
say,
you agree with that though?
I mean, I do.
That makes sense.
What I would say too is I would say like whatever you're doing, whatever business you're in, do it so your money's working for you, not you working for your money. Obviously, you're gonna have to start working to begin with, but the long-term goal is to make money while you're not there, while you're not physically there. Whether it's a system, whether it's a product,
Right.
residual, real estate, anything that you don't physically have to be there. That's the end goal because that's how you get financial freedom. And if you're constantly trading time for money, you're never gonna get out of the rat race. Whether it's
Yeah.
$1 million a year, it don't matter. You're still in the rat race because you're still trading your time for money. You know what I'm saying? So
When you got the money that you wanted, did it finally hit like you thought it would?
nah, cause bro, my goal, my life, like when I was younger, I used to tell myself like, bro, if I could only make $10,000 a month, I'll be good.
Right.
I made 10,000. and it felt like nothing, right? And then my second goal was like 25,000 a month. I made that shit. It felt like nothing. My life goal, and this was when I was thinking very, very small. I told myself, I was like, bro, if I could one day make 100,000 a month, I'm good. I made that shit, bro. That shit is nothing.
Oh,
that shit is nothing. If you live in LA, my people in LA know what I'm talking about. If you make $100,000 a month, you are not doing it.
Holy
I promise
shit.
you, you're not doing it. You got so much shit you got to take care of. High overhead. If you got kids, that's even worse. You know what I'm saying? Just to take a girl out on a date, that's like 5,000 a night. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy now.
Yeah, you golden chicken or something.
If you making 100,000, it ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, boy.
That's coming from experience. So.
And so, how much money do you have to make to feel like, all right, finally?
And it goes back to everybody's different. I feel like my personal goal right now, to make where I would be like comfortable is at least like 2 million, 3 million a month.
Oh.
And if I don't hit that shit, then you know what I mean? I'm always gonna be like trying to hit that number.
Be Jeff Bezos.
And it's not even like to make me happy. It's just to have that freedom. You know what I mean? And to do the things and take care of the people that I want to take care of.
But how did you arrive at that number though? Like,
well, the more I started making it, I started realizing like it's not what you think.
It's gonna take about.
You know
like, did you work out the math? You're like, you know what? It would take.
And then obviously your lifestyle raises, and you're used to a certain lifestyle. So now I'm used to a certain lifestyle, and I can't go back to what I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Do you celebrate every birthday?
I'm actually not big on birthdays, bro. I don't really celebrate. I just feel like it's too much pressure. And one thing I hate is celebrating a birthday and having a big birthday dinner, and you just got like 30 people, half of them you don't even fuck with, half of them you don't even know, and they're just there. Like, I don't know. I just don't like that. I don't like that concept. I rather like my ideal birthday.
Yeah.
I go tuck myself in the mountains. My last birthday, you heard of Dr. Sebi?
Yes. Yeah.
I went to his
seminar.
Nah, he has a like a compound in Honduras where he used to heal people. So I went over there by myself. Secluded myself for 2 weeks, and that's how I spent my birthday.
What made you do that?
I just like secluding myself whenever I get the opportunity to, and I also wanted to heal. I wanted to like some time for myself, because when you're constantly working and when you're in the city, you never actually get to hear your own thoughts and calm yourself down. And you're away from technology, you're away from everything, and you're just in the mountains, you're in the jungle, so you get a lot of time for yourself. You know, and it was a game changer.
And what did you learn?
I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I need to slow down in a lot of shit. I need to let a lot of people go, a lot of things go. You know what I mean? Like, it's an experience. So
yeah, and so it was worth the trip.
It was worth the trip, and now every birthday from now on, I'll probably do the same shit. It'll just be different location. I like being in the mountains, away from everybody, and just like bringing in the new year, just kind of like level-headed. You know what I'm saying? Instead of waking up the next day fucking hungover, I don't even know what the fuck I did. It's crazy.
And so, do you think that weed is something good moving forward?
Of course, yeah. Weed is a plant. Is that? Weed is a plant. It's a medicine. I know a lot of people that actually use it to heal. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people that had cancer that healed themselves with the plant. And weed is a beautiful thing. I don't personally smoke weed. I just get all paranoid and shit. But I love the smell. I love the plant.
I'll partake for you.
And without the plant, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be here. So.
Well, that's good, man. Yeah. And you know, it's good to learn things and figure out what you like.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how old are you right now?
I'm 34.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, still, you're almost there. You got one more. They say life starts at 35. You know why they say that? Shit. Because after 35 is when your parents start to die. Is that for men or women? For men. Okay. Because after 35, man, that's when our parents start to die, where we start to learn who our friends are, who's not. Mm-hmm. Because after a certain time, when you become a man, that's when you start to like isolate. And you know how them old schools do, right?
I'm facing that myself. Like sometimes when I'm alone, I'm having a good ass time.
I know.
I be getting hit up like, yo, let's go to the strip club, let's go to the club. I'm like, I don't fuck with it like that anymore. Like, I'm good. I'm chilling.
To be fair, they say the frontal cortex, that's the front of your brain right here. They say it doesn't finish developing into your late 20s. I say early 30s, and that's why things start to not make sense.
I believe that because I didn't really start getting a fucking brain or started thinking right till I was like 28, 29. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, man.
Like I didn't start thinking logically till, my late 20s. So
And so this is what I want to do, man, before we wrap up this episode, man. I want you to look into the camera and I want you to tell the people, man, what they can expect from it. Where you imagine yourself being.
I don't
in
like
the next
telling
5.
people what they could expect because, I don't tell my left hand don't know what my right is doing, so I ain't going to tell you too much.
Let's put a wish out there.
But before we close this shit, let's talk about one more thing, man.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of this bullshit called Galentine's Day?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What are your thoughts about Galentine's Day, yo?
I see it, and it just feels like a fake Valentine's.
Right? And I feel like it was invented by lonely ass women just to celebrate Valentine's Day so they ain't gotta be lonely.
But I'm like, man, if you wear a designer purse, why would you celebrate a fake holiday?
Oh no, that shit is crazy to me, bro. Like, and it was a big old subject on Instagram. I was going
Counterfeit
crazy.
holiday.
Like, I was just like, man, I hate that holiday. A lot of my homegirls were celebrating it, and they don't even know why. Like,
They don't even know why.
I don't know. I just feel like this should be the last year that Galentine's Day is celebrated. If you're a man, you gotta rise up and stand with me. It ends this year, bro. We gotta put an end to this bullshit.
Yeah.
Galentine's Day, Friendsgiving, all that other shit they be trying to do. I'm done with it. I'm done with it, and you should be too.
Did you celebrate Valentine's?
I didn't.
That's why they celebrate
But
Valentine's.
you know what? I'm gonna keep it 100. I got a little sum for somebody, and I'm gonna keep it there. But I didn't celebrate it. I was over here, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing, and that's what it was. I'm not anti-Valentine's Day though. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like it's a little overhyped.
Well, the good thing is that now from far away you can see who's available.
Oh, for sure.
Now they can't lie about
for
having a
sure.
boyfriend.
For sure, and it's crazy because every time Valentine's Day come around, every single girl be posting like 5 different sets of flowers. Not one tag though. You know what I mean? It's
So,
crazy.
oh damn, what does that mean? Like
Not
their
one
friend-
tag. Like they'll post all kind of flowers and not where they came from. I think that's kind of crazy.
Does that mean like they bought it for themselves?
Nah, I just feel like they have so many dudes sending them shit that they don't want to burn out they people and lose their hoes. You know what I'm saying? So they want to keep their options open.
Facts.
Yeah. But,
Well, hopefully you collect them next year.
man, yeah. I just hope. by
Hopefully
this
you
time
get your
next
own
year-
holiday. How about that?
By this time next year, I don't want to see no Galentine's post. None of that shit. It ends this year, man.
Is there anything you do want to see more of in 2023?
I want to see less filters, less females getting BBLs. That shit is not cute, baby. That shit looks fucking terrible. Natural bodies is in style. That's what we need to keep. Hit the fucking gym if you got to. Just knock that bullshit off. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see more of.
And can you give some encouragement?
And also for the fellas, because I don't want to just sound like I'm bashing the ladies. For the fellas, keep it more real, man. If you ain't fucking with this girl, you don't want to like get into a relationship with her, and you just trying to hit like be upfront with her. Stop chasing false narratives and shit like that. Like just
false
be upfront
narratives,
with her.
false friends.
I do that shit all the time.
False
like
lashes.
Yeah, like
false bodies.
you gotta do that, man. Be real with a woman. That's it.
False idols.
They'll respect you more.
And they want someone real.
Hell yeah.
But it's not, the math is not mathing.
It's not mathing, man. They got fake everything and they want a real dude.
You want to give a shout out to somebody before we get out of here?
I mean, shit, I can't. It's too many people. I don't want to miss anybody, but
I
shout
got
out
you,
to all my people for in the building, man.
Shout out my second grade teacher. You know what I'm saying? Without y'all, I wouldn't be here.
Hey, speaking of that, I think my first grade teacher, her name's Miss Romero.
Mr. Romero.
We was in White Memorial in Boyle Heights. It was
Miss
like
Romero
a little.
sound like she fight.
She
bulls
was
or
fine
something.
as shit, boy. That was my first crush. She used to feed me little gummy worms. I used to like crawl around the desk.
You said she used to feed
No,
her
I
the
swear,
gummy
like
worm.
whenever I like they'll say a problem out loud, right?
Yeah.
And I would always guess it right. And she would like go like this, and we would come around the desk.
And she would ask for the gummy worm.
Nah, I would ask
you
for
would.
the go.
Sorry,
Yeah, she
my
would
fault.
just like feed it in my mouth, bro. Still to this day, I remember that shit. I want to know what she looked like now. So Miss Romero, if you hearing this shit,
You got a gummy worm
holla
for
at
you.
me, man. Holla at me. Hell yeah.
Well,
I
there
wanna
it
see
is.
what it do.
Well, thank you for tuning in. This is Compound Field Podcast. Carlos, come in here. Shout out to
El
shout out to people, man.
Bobbies. Hell yeah, man.
Shout out San Antonio.
Yeah, I know.
There it is. Thank you for tuning in. And we're out.
I'm gonna take a little video.
Oh yeah, get a video. Get a video.
Well, you sit back down just so I can get like a little clip.
Hey, press finish on there. All right, let's get it. All right, come on. I'm sitting down.
Man.
There's my- There. My chair's falling. Compound Films Podcast.
Yo,
Thank
no
you for tuning
Galentine's
in.
Day 2023. We about to go in the fuck. Oh shit.
Oh, all right, one more. Hey, we're live.
No Galentine's Day 2023. We about to go the fuck in. Tune in, y'all.
Don't forget to vote. You know what I'm saying? Compound Field Podcast. All right, hit that. Hit it again.
Last minute shit. I was lit.
Yes, sir. One more time.
I'm over here sweating, man.